What's up, YouTube? This is the Billy Bob HD bringing you a brand new series. Today I'm going to be trying Ostriv, which is a indie game. It's a city builder, and this one is basically you're set in the colonial era of the 18th century, and you're trying to build up a colonial town as best as possible, survive the winter. Definitely a city builder slash survival game here. And it looks pretty cool so far. This is the early access alpha version that I'm playing. I believe it's .2 or .02 rather, the version that we're playing here today. And so some of the buildings and such are still a work in progress, but we do still have a lot of the economic buildings that we can build out and try to survive and grow our city. You can see down here during the world map, there are several other cities that we can open up trade routes with here eventually, and so we'll look to do that sort of as time goes on, but wanted to at least get this going to see if the audience liked it here for the channel. And so you start out sort of with this camp here in the center, and this is our camp center. We have a mayor already. We've got 21 people, 9 men, 9 women, all looking for jobs. We have no water supply is actually currently poor. So we're trying to get some additional water here built up, and then we've got families here that are within tents sort of around the city center. So we've got to build houses for these folks as soon as possible. We do start out with some resources. Wood, that you will see is going to be the most important to get here right off the bat. Wood showing at 100 in the stockpile, thatches at 12, iron at 10, nail at 1600. And so we do want to start off by building a forestry building out here like this. So we'll get that constructed here first. So let's go ahead and kick it off here and get it going. So yeah, you can see laborers here are going to start gathering resources and bringing these in to the construction site. And then workers starting to populate like this to construct it out. Then we can actually hire and manage the population to actually start harvesting logs, right? The next main thing we're going to need to get is a thatchery to build up your roofing structures and such. So I'm going to put this one, they've got to collect reeds from the riverside here in order to sort of produce out. And so I'm going to put this building right here next to the riverside. You can see we've got a pretty flat location to start out with. River right next to us there. So here we go. Construction is now in process. So we've stored 88 nails, 44 wood. The sound effect is pretty hilarious right here with these guys nailing and sort of constructing the building so far. And then you've got a couple benches in the city center here. You've got the women sort of taking it easy, right? So we're going to have thatches and wood starting to come into us. The third thing we're going to need to construct and start getting going is the farm. And so I think I'm going to place that sort of on this side of town like this. So we'll get that going. Laborers, of course, are going to start working on the thatchery next. And we'll start employing people and getting houses up after the farm is done. So it is March of 1721. We have a little bit longer until we actually start getting into winter time. And you can see there we're going to need to produce carts and such here eventually to get people to move material around a lot quicker and such. You can see jobs are available, no market, water supply is poor, and no housing available. Okay, so if we pause here really quickly, let's hire 2 men here to start working on logs and wood production right off of the bat. Everyone else is going to help out with the construction projects currently ongoing. Pretty big area here to build out against. The thatchery, I think we're going to hire probably 1 person when the time comes. Open vacancies now for men is sitting right at 5. But again, a lot of this population now sort of working on moving resources and construction. So the thatchery here is about to be finished out. Moving it on in. And you can see over here, our first task is building houses for all families within the camp. So we're going to try to work on getting this going two workers here working on chopping down wood. You will see them sort of chop down trees, bring the logs over, and refine them into other construction projects. So we're going to need, let's see, let's start working on our house plan here. Tents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tents that we're going to have to build, or houses rather. So what you'll notice is, let's see what our nails is at 1226. If you do not build enough houses by the time winter comes, you will have families that move out of town and sort of migrate to somewhere else on the world map here to find housing and warmth and that sort of thing, which will allow them to, you know, be warm, survive the winter. So water is actually starting to accumulate now, which is good. You can see that moving up above the 5 level there. Water supply is efficient, no market, no housing, and jobs are now available. So we're going to put one, try to hire one person in for the thatchery there to get that production going. And then I'm going to start queuing up a couple of houses. So let's see, we're going to want to try to probably create some sort of thoroughfare here for the city. So we'll put a house here. And we'll put in a second house right next to him, like this. So all facing towards the river here, but they're going to start bringing in materials, as you can see. And this one, looking for laborers. We've got 100 nails that are going into this construction. Farm now, we've got laborers starting to construct this out, hopefully, ASAP. Still March here of 1721, getting ready to move over to April. And we've got, again, 21 people in the city. So sort of trying to start from scratch here. And you can see them sort of building up here now. Go for it, boys. Go for it. Thatch is coming in up here. Laborers still moving resources on site, and so what they have to do is sort of grab this cart from the cart stall over here, cart parking, and haul the resources to the appropriate areas. Okay, so we've got one guy working here. He's starting to store up new thatches, which is good. We've got new wood approaching in from this side of things. We're going to want them to start chopping firewood at some point, but just accumulating logs right now for future construction projects. And you can see we're sort of running short on the wood for now. Looking for laborers, and still bringing new resources here on site. We're waiting 5 wood to get this done. So now we have all the appropriate wood to start the construction or finish the construction over here. Oh, they need 5 more wood, actually. So where are these guys bringing it in from? Let's see. Yeah, they're coming down in from this side of things. He's bringing it straight from the logging camp, the laborer is, and bringing it in here. So wood of 17 now, stored. Can't find clay anywhere. Almost forgot about clay. So you go to the production here, go to clay pit. We're going to put the clay pit, I'm thinking maybe up here on this side by the tree line. So we'll get that in. So laborers can automatically come up here and start collecting clay from the pit and bringing it to the construction sites. Nails, we're down to 1026. You'll see here a little bit later why I'm so obsessed with the nail stock. Because we're going to eventually need to trade for iron and get a blacksmith up and going to make new nails for construction. Okay, waiting 1 clay then. We've got some clay up here for the new houses. That'll take care of 2. That leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that we're going to need to build after these. So now we're headed about a third of the way through April. Want to get some crops growing as soon as possible. And then you can see, looking for jobs, 7 women. So we'll be able to employ women at the farm for sure. And then we'll eventually put up a market to sell the crops out to the population to eat. No housing available, of course. Well, actually, construction's actually started up over here. Yep, looks like I've got like 1 dude constructing right now. going little by little. Here he is, bringing the clay in, building up those walls, clay walls. There we are. There's at least got walls going over here. We're waiting some wood here. And definitely some wood over this way. Excuse me. So, how about men? Open vacancies, 12 for men. 16 total, 16 open vacancies for men. 0 men are looking for jobs, so they are all employed. As we continue to move on here. So let's bump it up to the highest speed now. Try to get some of these construction projects done ASAP. I saw a woman walking over to the forestry camp there for a second trying to help out, which would be cool, obviously. Okay, coming in now. The farm definitely looking to finish up here. Can't find wood anywhere. So these guys, they have firewood of 12.5 and actual wood of 15 in reserve. So that wood is getting ready to be distributed out to the construction sites. Another cool thing about the game that I like so far is the automatic path building that you'll see within the city. And the more sort of paths or people that use a certain route, right, you'll see a sort of dirt path starting to create itself between the different parts of the city. Okay, so Thatch is coming right on along there. And if we take a look, he's sort of down by the riverbank there. Bringing it out. How are we doing on water now? Water is sitting at right at 10. Thatches are accumulating. Clay is still, we still have a heavy amount of clay. They do at least start you with 10 iron, which is cool. I have not been able to see a way to actually produce iron within my city. So that leads me to believe we're going to have to send out for some trade eventually. Oil workshop, shoemakers, carpenter, smithy, etc. Okay, so the farm is done. Let's get some workers in. We're going to want to, no fields are assigned. We need a manager. And let's, oh, sorry. I screwed that up. We're going to make a new field. Let's grow crops sort of in this area out here. Like this. Max output of 25. That should be good to start us out with here. So we're going to start with wheat. Nutrients needed, 100, 100, 100. Let's go ahead and activate you. So we're going to skip plowing because we don't have any carts yet. And you'll see why. To order a plow, you need 2 adult oxen, which obviously we don't have, and a carpenter building to build the plow itself. So that's going to come a little bit later. We're going to be able to order a plow hopefully at some point. You can see a lot of laborers now coming over to sort of plant the first harvest. If we take a look at them. Okay, so they're going to continue working for us. That does mean we're going to need to build a market stall. Here we are. Sells up to 4 goods to citizens. So let's go ahead and place the market here, sort of right in the middle of the main thoroughfare that we're getting ready to create, right? I think I'm going to spin it and put it sort of right here for now. Don't have to construct it, so that's nice. We're going to start selling flour here from the market. Give you a worker. And we do actually have to build a windmill as well to turn wheat into flour. So we'll put that right there. Okay, so if we take a look at the field here, sowing is finished. We're in the middle of growing season here. It is May of 1721. So they'll start to ripen up and then basically store the product. And in order to do that, we do need a granary to store up food for the winter and such. So granary, I think we should put maybe right here next to the farm, just so it's easy for the market to get there. So let's put you sort of right here. We're going to start constructing that piece out. First house is done, so one tent is at least gone away. How are we doing in nails? We've got still over 1,000 of you. Let's put in for construction of a new village house. We're going to continue along the main thoroughfare here, like this. Let's actually do a couple more of you. Like this. And then we're actually going to... Maybe I can rotate this a bit, like this, to maybe create a new sort of intersection eventually, coming from this way. So they're going to face out this way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 houses that are on the list to be constructed out. So that'll get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these. That'll leave us with 4 more before it's winter time. So it is still June right now. You can see the wheat starting to come in. Still there on that growing process. Okay, new house is ready here, the village house. The Shutsky family. Father and mother both unemployed there. We've got our 2 workers and a manager here at the farm. We're going to need some workers here for the windmill, for sure. Guys still building up logs here for new construction. Clay pit. No employment needed there. So, more houses on the way. We've got a market up and going. What else do we need here in the short term? Maybe the smithy to make more nails. That's what I'm thinking. Slaughterhouse, etc. Oil workshop, forestry. Let's build a smithy. 112 nails to get that done. So we're going to start churning the corner right around here in this part of town. So let's put our smithy... Can he fit right here? He can. Let's put it right here, which will still give enough room for a sort of main road access here along the line. So we've laid all of those out. Open vacancies, 29. Looking for job, though. Just one woman. Not enough food for sale, obviously, right? Because we do not have any flour yet quite at the market. We'll double check on our wheat production here. Still in the growth phase, so that could take a little while. Could take a little while. We'll see. Next house is getting ready here. Got 100 nails stored. Yeah, you can see nails definitely being decreased here now. The granary still coming up. We do need to prioritize construction over here. So pause you. Pause you. I just want to make sure nails aren't going to be headed towards these 2 construction sites and we can actually get the full-blown smithy done. Which will be good. July now, coming through it pretty nicely. Okay, cool. The windmill is done. We're going to employ 1 person, or try to get 1 person to work there. Give a job there. We might have to micromanage some of the population, though, as we continue. Let's actually pause construction on this house for now. Get the smithy up and going first and foremost, right? Yep, so we have prioritized the smithy construction. You can see it up here on the top right. No religious buildings or health buildings to build, or education. We do have some decoration options between benches, arches, and such. Not going to waste my resources on that quite yet. Town hall unlocks more ways to control your town. So we'll want to put that in eventually. We've got to get trade going here at some point, though. Okay, and now you can see we've actually got some harvesting going on. Moving it on in. At the farm itself, so people are collecting, a lot of laborers out there right now working the fields. Right, you can see them sort of collecting up these hay stalks, these wheat stalks. Then eventually they're going to shove them over to the windmill here. Waiting some clay still for the smithy. We're down to 630 nails overall. So we've got to be careful with those nails as we move forward, like I was saying earlier. And you can start to see some of the roads now starting to make their way in. Kind of a diagonal shape coming in here on this side of things. But the farm is now doing pretty nicely. Oh, we need to actually hire someone for the granary. There we go. I think a lady can work that. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. Water is still... water holding steady for us right now. Water supply is efficient. No houses. Here comes the rest of that nice wheat. We've got 4.2 units of wheat. 5.2 now stored up. So you can see the windmill actually now working and starting to produce that flour, which they will then take to either the granary to store or to the market to sell. So we'll survive the winter from a food standpoint, so that's good news. Houses now is going to be the main sort of priority for us. I definitely want the smithy to finish up. Got a couple workers coming in now, working on putting up the walls. They've got their clay coming in. See these clay walls sort of building up and in. This game has been developed by a single individual. I believe he's Russian, but he's done a fantastic job here so far with the game, and I'll continue to follow it as long as we're getting new features and that type of thing, new buildings, new ways to manage your city. So coming up on the end of the first episode here, just wanted to say thanks for watching. Again, this has been the Billy Bob HD. Please remember to like, subscribe, and or comment if you've enjoyed my content, and we'll catch you guys next time.